Welcome back, guys. Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2. I'm still jacked up from the last one that we did on John Wayne. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you again for the subscriptions, comments, likes, donations. It's all appreciated. Thank you so much for all that. And I appreciate all the support. We're here to support each other in our 1% club. Hopefully move into the 2% club soon. And moving into more better life as we go on. So we're talking today on this one, which kind of got me going on the other one, is talking about the masculine frame. We've talked about John Wayne, we've talked about Tupac, we've talked about Bela Lugosi. All these people have in common that masculine frame that you need to have. And a lot of that comes from the energy you have inside. And so I don't know if each one of those people, did a lot of retention. I'm guessing they did at certain times. As you go through life, you're going to have times you retain whether you know it or not. Obviously, because you're not doing every minute. The question becomes, can you transmute this? Can you make it into something that's going to be really positive? And we need these role models. I'm going to do a video on these next one. The next one I think it will. We need male role models. We need more of them out there. We need more masculine male role models because, frankly, it's going the other way. We got too many of these beta simp people out there who've been unfortunately trained and brainwashed, and we just can't have that going. I mean, males are becoming, almost less males. I don't know what it's called. They're becoming betas. And most of them, at least probably 40-50%, if you look at these men, and they don't have any kind of masculine frame. And this is what you need to have, not just for yourself. I mean, obviously women like this as well, but you do it for yourself because it makes you the best person that you can be. And it's key to know that. And this is important because this is what retaining gives you. I believe, and I don't know this for fact, but I believe what ends up happening is a lot of people become more simpish as they release more. And I know I probably was in that category years ago when I didn't really have that masculine frame. So when we look at masculine frame, the question becomes, how do you develop a masculine frame? How do you become like the TV character or the movie person or that musician or somebody that you're looking up to saying, man, I wish I could have that kind of aura, that masculine frame that person has. Well, let's kind of talk about this a little bit here. So there's really 3 or 4 things that I've kind of focused on here that is important. The first one is going back to masculine energy. You notice this, and I noticed this, and I've noticed this now more as I'm on, I think it's 530 days, I think, in NoFap, and then I think it's also NoFap retention, and then I think it's also 55 days on monk mode. And I've noticed this more and more. The strength, the energy you have is just soaring, pulsating through your body. It's almost like you can't control it. And I know a couple of you guys mentioned this in the videos yesterday. You just can't control this energy. If you're at a certain level and now this energy is soaring in you, you can just feel it. You can feel it. And this is what happens the longer you're on monk mode and the longer you are not watching images and getting away from all these distractions, and you're using this energy to transmute yourself upwards and trying to accomplish those goals and make this world a better place and make yourself a better person and get yourself closer to God. Those type of things make you feel strong, the energy. So the first thing you got to have, my friend, if you want to have this masculine frame, you got to have masculine energy. And a lot of us are blessed, especially when we're younger. We're blessed at having all this energy. I have to say, I wasted a lot of my energy over the years. Now I'm finally realizing how important this energy is. Okay? I wish it's like some of you, I was back in my 20s. A lot of times wisdom is good, but you gain wisdom through experience, and that's what happened to me. But the idea, guys, is that you really want to understand how important this energy is. And the whole key to the energy is transmuting it and making sure you keep it within your body so you're using it to accomplish things and to do things. Whether it's working out, whether it's achieving a degree, some young guys are still working in school, whether it's working a great job, making money, accomplishing types of things, even doing things around the house, building things, all these type of things are important when it comes to using your masculine energy. Now, how do you do that? Well, obviously, you need to retain. And this is something that is a challenge for all of us in this society nowadays, with so many things walking around us, pictures, people, and all these people coming up to you and talking to you, and all of a sudden now you become a magnet because people realize that you're on your purpose. We showed that a little bit in the masculine frame of John Wayne. He didn't have to come up to women to talk to him. He could care less about that, right? And the fact that even his wife up there in that scene, he didn't care about that, and she became more attracted to him because of that. And guys, this is the whole thing about masculine frame. You have to have that masculine frame. You cannot have that simplest behavior that you're desperate for attention, or you're desperate for this, or desperate for that. Being desperate is not a masculine frame. And so having that masculine energy is the first thing. You've got to be able to demonstrate that and say, I can become the strong person that I know I can become because of this energy. Okay? The other thing you got to have, another thing that I saw, is you have to have emotional intelligence. You have to go ahead and have emotional intelligence, that you are basically using your intelligence to be able to kind of know what you want to do and where you want to go. You got to be strong mentally. You got to be strong mentally. You cannot take things personally. But a lot of this, guys, it goes back to this keeping your seat, retaining. This whole thing makes a huge difference when you're sitting there and now you're understanding, okay, I don't have that fear. I don't have that anxiety anymore. I feel strong. At my core, I feel strong. And I'm getting stronger by the minute. I don't need to worry about a comment a person made, right? I don't need to have company. I can, in fact, live happy by myself. And that's one of the things that I'm blessed with. The Lord has given me the ability to live by myself. I don't need to have people around me. And that you have to develop and cultivate that attitude. Now, because of that, people will be around you all the time, but it's not something that you become desperate for. You're not identified because of the people around you. You have that strength of character. You have that strength mentally. You have that emotional intelligence to be able to know that I can live by myself if I have to. And all of us at some point or another do. Whether we're younger, older, whatever it might be. We're living in this world by ourselves. Yes, we may be attached to somebody by name, by label. But the bottom line, guys, is we're still living by ourselves. We are living in this world by ourselves. You might get comfort from other people, help from other people. But the bottom line is you have to learn to live with yourself. And that means learning to live with your Creator. And that's something, guys, that a lot of people struggle with. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in any kind of being like that. And so you can see how confused those people will get, because they just don't believe in something that created them. And so now they go around looking for the answers, and sometimes they never find them. They never find them until it's kind of hit upon them and say, okay, now I got to find out after I'm passing away here what's going on. And so I have no fear of that anymore. I know where I'm going. Right? I know who I'm going to see after this all is over at some point. Okay? But that gives me a great feeling inside. That gives me a lot of satisfaction, and it gives me a lot of peace and calmness. Right? But it also gives me intensity to be able to say I'm still going to achieve my goals. I don't care if I'm 60 years old. I'll start some goals right now. They may take 10, 15 years, but we're going to get there. Maybe take 30 years. I'm still going to be here. Right? They're going to have to drag me out of here, as they used to say. Right? They're going to have to take me off the field with a stretcher. Man, knocked out before I stop looking at goals and achieving things and working things. Okay? And that's the mentality I believe is the right mentality to have. You've got to, as a human being, be able to serve the purpose of the Lord, do the things in an intense way as long as you can. And that means every day you get up and you work on saying, okay, what am I going to achieve today? I'm not going to be chasing some girls, watching some pictures, wasting my time. I'm going to go out and try and achieve something. I'm going to go do something, make something better, build something if I have to, create something if I have to, and move from there. All right, and the last one that I was going to comment on was the ability to say no. I guess you can call this passing the crap test. I can use another word, but passing the crap test. So when people say to you, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that, your building of a masculine frame comes from the fact that you can look them straight in the eye and say, no, sorry about that, we're not doing that, all right? And you don't need to follow the crowd because you need approval down deep so much. This is where a lot of problems occur. People have trouble saying no because they don't want to offend people. They don't want to get upset. In fact, they're doing stuff to do it. We see this on a global standpoint in society, right? People are afraid of this, they're afraid of that, they're afraid of that, right? A masculine frame person does not have that kind of fear. You're not afraid of anything. That's the way you got to look at things. You're not afraid of anything, and as a warrior, you should not be afraid of anything. You should be able to continue to move through and pass on and work one step at a time into something else. And you keep working until you achieve it. And that's where you're at. All right, so that's my ideas right now, looking at 3 categories. We'll talk about this more in other videos as well. But that's how you kind of build a masculine frame. Those 3 things are a start. But of course, the first thing you've got to do before you can start those other ones and work on those other ones is to work on your energy. Keeping your energy inside of you so you have a chance to build that masculine frame. If not, you're working backwards and you're going to have a hard time building that frame. All right, until next time, guys, battle on!